is the narrow 3-thread overlock. Do you know you can do a 2-thread overlock? And so what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the upper looper. And so then you're only using 2 threads. Makes for using less thread and makes the stitch not as heavy. So delicate fabrics you want to do this with, it's an option for you. So it's going to look the same, well, and a little different. So let me show you how it's done. We've gone ahead and already removed the left needle, and I've removed the spool from the machine. All right, next, inside the door here is your 2-thread converter. It kind of sits a little kind of sideways, but this is where it hides out. If you can't figure out how to get that back in there, put it in your accessory bag and then be able to pull it out at a later time. I know sometimes even I have to figure out how does that actually go in there, but it does. Technically, it sits kind of sideways and stays in there, so it's right at your fingertips. Okay, so this is actually going to sit on the top of the upper looper shaft. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. So since we're not going to use the blue upper looper thread, I'm going to go ahead and clip it and just go ahead and remove it and remove the spool completely. So now I have just a right needle and a lower looper. So we're going to use this little converter to make the machine think that we have thread in that upper looper when we actually do not. So I'm just going to kind of snip my threads. I want to make sure my needle thread comes out because I see that still down below in the sequence. Let's pull that. Kind of clear those threads out. I'm going to take the knife, move it out of range so you can see a little bit better. Lower down the presser foot if that gives you a little bit more room. See this little part at the top? That's the part this little cap is going to sit on. This little spring on the side is going to come over and kind of snap around this bottom part. So first go ahead and put the hat on and then push down and see how it just kind of came in and hooked right at that little button. Now there's this little kind of spring finger. Push it back. It needs to sit in the eye of the upper looper from the back side. Okay, so just push it in and it really just kind of finds the hole. So now, and if your lower looper thread, you feel like maybe it might get kind of caught somewhere, I'm going to just kind of pull it out, even slide it underneath my presser foot a little bit. It will get hooked up in the right place once we take a stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and take some fabric. I'm going to put it in. Just since I don't have a chain going, I'm going to slide it far enough in that my first couple of stitches will go into fabric first. Okay, so what we're looking for is the fact that the upper looper thread, not the upper looper, that one's totally gone. The red, lower looper, is wrapping all the way from the front to the back. Now I'm getting a little bit of a pull on my needle thread, so I'm going to loosen that up just a little bit, maybe even tighten my needle tension. And let's just do it again. Because this is a little thicker fabric, we might need to adjust a little bit. Also my cutting, you know what, I bet it's my cutting width because I was just doing a wider seam. And I should know, oh, actually that looks really good. So we want to see that everything looks good from the front and the back. So now we just have one thread wrapping all the way from the back side all the way around the front and one needle thread. How simple is that? So let me just, since I adjusted the knife at the very end, let's just do a fresh run of it. Oh, that's laying nice and flat, a lot flatter than the other one. Until you actually see it, you don't realize if you've what attentions you've actually changed. Love the look of that. And super flat and not a really heavy stitch. So that is a 2-thread converter. And again, you just always remove the upper looper thread to use it.